All right, everybody, we are here with a special series between Liquid Clem, one of the best Terrans in the world, and a player that by all rights should be terribly outmatched by him, but is a creative genius. It's none other than Catz, one of the OG creative players known for his proxy hatches, his crazy build orders, and just always looking for a fresh and hilarious way to play the game. Catz is so interesting and unique. Now, to give context on this match, obviously Clem's the favorite, but just how much? Well, Clem is about 1,500 MMR higher than Catz. Catz recently has been playing a lot, got up to about 5,500 MMR. Clem's regularly about 7,000 MMR. So to put that in perspective, that's about the difference between a bronze player and a diamond player. So kind of bronze and low diamond. Or a diamond to a GM. If you're diamond 1, that would take you kind of all the way to like high GM almost. It's a massive skill difference. So you've got a GM player who's kind of middle GM, often lower GM because he does kind of experiment a lot, but more often middle GM, up against, of course, a Terran player that is not going to be challenged by more than a handful of players in the world. And this is hatchery first into third hatch block. I hate playing against this. Clem, please teach me how to deal with this. I hate playing against it. Sometimes I kick its ass, and sometimes I just look terrible. Now, he's going to go for a bunker on the low ground, cancels the Reaper, builds a Marine. Okay, interesting. Now, in this scenario, if you don't send an SCV scout, you don't know if you're being rushed behind it or not. So for Catz, because there's no Reaper or no scout, and he's going to see that with his Overlord, he can just hold the drone key down behind this. And basically the whole idea is just to distract. Okay, so Clem's going to pull 3 SCVs. So the SCVs and a Marine, and the bunker's just there for extra safety, but he skipped the command center. So Clem thinks he's being committed to a lot harder than he actually is. So he thinks this was pool gas into hatchery, but he doesn't, because the hatchery timing is later than a hatch first. Clem has misread this. He goes, oh, well, this isn't a hatchery first time. Little does he know, yeah, that's because the hatchery first went down here. This is the second hatchery he built on top of that. So Catz coming out, and this is just to distract. Now, does he cancel it to get the money back, or does he let it finish just to buy time? Cancels it, even puts an Evo chamber down just to buy more time and be a little more annoying. Should cancel that as well, and then get that drone out of there. Nicely done. Behind this, 2 queens are on the way, as well as the drones, and the command center only now starting, and it starts on the high ground. But he's got a factory up, so he can make Hellions pretty quickly and start harassing with those. And having scouted a hatch is up. He could sell the bunker, but it looks like Clem doesn't want to risk that. He's going to move the barracks back, and probably going to think about getting a second gas and a starport is what I would imagine. Against the guy like Catz, you've got to be a little worried about what might come behind this. Catz going for Ling speed. He pulled off gas, but now he's put 2 workers. Oh, no, he's... Oh, what's it? 2 gases already? What the hell? He's going up to 4 queens, and he's going to build a spine crawler on the defense. Okay, this is super cute. Oh, he cancels the 4th queen in the main. Okay, so he's teching up really hard as Catz. So he's going straight up on 2 gases, some sort of very fast tech build. And, I mean, the problem I see with fast tech builds is that Clem, like, something like fast muters just doesn't work so well. Whoa, where'd they come from? Hellions, dive on in the base. Uh-oh. Oh, this is not good for Catz. He does not have Ling speed yet. He doesn't have any Zerglings. He's going to cancel that building. He's only lost 2 drones so far. Queens will get some good damage done. And with those slow Zerglings helping them out, they should be able to take out these Hellions. But still, seeing the fast lair, very good. But he's also delayed the gas mining a fair bit here. 2 more Hellions running the natural. It looks like they're going to grab a drone kill. Not too impactful, but definitely some nice pressure when he realizes he's up against something rather fancy. A Viking on the way. Going to be very useful for denying the Nidusworm. And as I said, Clem and modern Terran players are so good at getting up their stim and their bio and all that sort of stuff that mutas don't really achieve what they once did. Because they hit the field too late because the Spire build time is ridiculous. I wouldn't mind the Spire build time going down, but then I remember how good mutas can be versus Protoss, and I'm like, maybe you got to keep it a long time. Just first Terran, make it faster. Same in ZvZ. I think it's balanced for those 2 matchups already, but versus Marines, it's not that good. But this is going to be Hydroden and Overlord speed. Catz, the effing psychopath, is going for a Lurker Drop, my friends. This is ridiculous. Lurker Drop, if he just realizes what's happening, Clem, and gets Marines in position, He can gun this down so easily. But, keep in mind, he's only got scans for detection, and lurkers are pretty tough. And he's gone a third command center, which means more scans, but it means less Marines to actually kill the lurkers with. So if he can get lurkers burrowed in 2 different bases, I mean, CLEM is going to lose a lot of mining time. He's going to have to clear them up 1 lurker or 2 lurkers at a time. And if you spread them, so you get a lurker on the production, a lurker in the base, a lurker here, a lurker here, he can only kill 1 with each scan. And that's a disaster because he just won't have enough scans to clean it up. He's building a cyclone right now. CLEM is paranoid about a Nidus worm or something like that coming in. He wants a mobile unit to deal with it. This is bizarre. It's so funny. CLEM, I mean, he's played against Bly enough, but he's super paranoid. He sees the Hydras, though. He sees the Hydralisks. So he realizes he should know what's happening. But does he put 2 and 2 together? Seeing slow Hydras moving across, he should realize Hellions pretty damn good versus Hydras. And that's going to be a bit of a bummer for Catz, losing already 1 of these Hydras. Notice he's got a Dropper Lord there, a Dropper Lord there. They're not morphed into Dropper Lords. They're still just regular ones for now, but they will be eventually. Zerglings going after those Hellions. They kill the red at point 1, and they will push this back. First Lurker morphing just there. This Hydra gonna do okay. Oh, got a toted fight, Catz. Uh-oh, he's gonna lose another Hydra. This is going so bad for him, and this is the mobility of Terran and why they're so good at shutting down these sort of builds. As long as he just keeps building tanks, keeps some scans available, he'll be able to do this. But notice he's still muling. He's not saving scans. So I think he's kind of disrespecting this. Maybe not realizing what it is. Maybe it's so insane, he thinks it's just a Hydra Ling bust. He's built 2 bunkers on the front. He's going to build a turret, so maybe he's thinking about lurkers a little bit. But he's got a Viking and a Cyclone. Empty Dropper Lord is going to run into that. That's a distraction. Oh, no, he is actually going to go for it, but maybe because the lurkers are up here, he drops there and actually dodges the anti-air. He's going to dodge the anti-air while coming in behind the natural, but uh-oh, tank is possibly in range there. Uh-oh, Catz might lose this before it even unloads. Catz bringing out the complete troll builds right now. That Overlord goes down. These lurkers do get burrowed. CLEM, where's your scan, mate? Lurker's doing big damage. One of these lurkers does go down. Oh, he's dodging the spines as well. Okay, the lurkers in the main went down. These 2 lurkers gonna get scanned as well. Is he gonna hot pick it up? Oh, it kills quite a few Marines. 11 SCVs actually went down already, but it does fall. He's got a lurker on the front, starting to get ready for a slow bust, but Catz has not really done crazy damage. He is droned okay, and he's adding melee carapace and a macro hatch. Now, obviously, he's floating a fair bit of resources, but, I mean, he's trying to fucking get Hydras across the map, morph lurkers into Dropper Lords while getting Hellion harassed, and just do a crazy build order. So I gotta say, I would be floating a lot more than Catz is right now in terms of the money doing what he's trying to pull off here. He's gonna keep trying to contain and harass him, but I think Catz might realize at this point, drone up really hard. You've got him turtled back. You killed some workers. CLEM's playing a little bit scared right now. He's kind of pinned back in his base. So just try and slow contain him from taking that 3rd base. And CLEM, he's going to try and move on out now. He's got a scary army, 25 Marines. If they were in the Zerg base, would just win the game. There's just nothing there. There's 1 Hydra, 9 Zerglings, 5 Lurkers, which are all out here. This is not a great army for defending for Catz, but if he can slow CLEM down from moving out of the map, this could work out. Catz not paying attention right now, and those Lurkers are going to get taken out. The young French gun does take out one of the lurkers. The other lurker does get out of there, just barely. These lurkers and lings gonna damage this. Gonna have to lift that off, CLEM. He's thinking about engaging on this. He doesn't have that big an army though, and he still doesn't have combat shields. So he does lose quite a bit of the bio jumping on top. The lurker just pulls back a little bit. And we've got an infestation pit on the way as well. Is Catz gonna go lurker ling? He doesn't have a baneling nest. So it's not Lurker Ling Bane Hydra, it's just Lurker Ling. And Mass Ling Lurker, I mean, Raynor showed us how good that can be, right? I think of that as a rather fancy composition, but I mean, if you just catch him out in the open, it can be huge, and those Lurker upgrades are massive. CLEM moving out forward. He's up about, or he's down about 10 workers, and Catz is continuing to do that. He's also building spores, realizing drops could be a big problem. A guy like CLEM, who's so damned fast, can just go all the way around with drops and just pick them up, drop here, pick up, drop there, and just abuse the fact that you don't have a lot of mobile anti-air. But look at this. Creep is now spreading out on all sides. He's breaking down the rocks. Catz is using this as a transition into a more standard game plan. He's doing it really well. That lurker got cleaned up. There's another lurker here. He's kind of using these just as like almost like random widow mines on the map, like little delaying tactics. They're kind of expensive to be using like that, but it does keep CLEM hemmed back in for now, penned back. Hemmed? I guess you could use hemmed there, right? The hem is what keeps the edge of the thing back, right? The hem of a piece of clothing? I don't even know. Lurkers are going to get jumped on, though. Unsupported Lurkers not going to do too well, guys. They do get taken down. At this point, he's just getting straight up clemmed. Good call there from Asher, bro. Couldn't have said it better myself, mate. Clem looking really good now as he gets set up. And with a 4th Command Center and a Ghost Academy on the way, he's definitely getting to that point where our fear for the Frenchman might be starting to fade away. That being said, 80 workers for the Zerg. Hive tech's done. Should be queuing those Lurker upgrades. He's a little gas starved. He just spent all of his gas on the Lurkers. You can see Catz keeps clicking his Lurker dead and saying, get the money, come on, man. And there we go, Seismic Spines on the way. Now remember, he also needs to queue up Adaptive Talons. He will have enough gas for that momentarily, but if he doesn't queue it up now, I think he might forget it. He's actually going Adrenal Glands in 2-2, and as I said, no Banelings. It's just heavy Zergling, and you know what sucks versus Zerglings, guys? Tanks and Marauders. Now, this is a pretty heavy tank Marauder army right now. It's actually a very heavy tank Marauder army. Mass Zergling's great versus that. Ghosts in small numbers aren't going to be that good. We've got Lings and Lurkers coming forward looking for some pickoffs, but can't really shove in there. This defensive setup is insane. Look at that. Ugh. Would not want to fight into that. Nidus Worm might be the play here for Mr. Catz. Quick clarification on exactly. I'm like, I know there's like a hem on a dress, a hem on some clothing. Apparently a hem is to reduce something in size to create an edge. We're learning what words mean. Lurker should be able to kill the tank, but the Liberator is going to cause problems, especially with the Bio Ghost coming in. Oof, 3 more Lurkers going down, and that unit's lost tab not looking good for Catz. I'm amazed, honestly, that he has survived past 10 minutes versus Clem, but also that he's in a good position. If this was Raynor in his shoes, I'd say he's winning. Lurkerling's coming on in. He's going for a crazy attack, but he doesn't have Adaptive Talons. I don't think he realized he didn't have the upgrade, guys. A little bit too excited there. He goes and he's like, that didn't quite work out. He's got Infestors now so that he can try to catch the ghosts when they push out. But guys, there we go. He realizes, he's like, crap, I forgot Adaptive Talons. I told you guys he would forget that because he didn't have the gas the first time. And because he forgot to queue that up, those Lurkers lagged really far behind. Remember that Adaptive Talons is essentially permanent Stim Pack and Drilling Claws, both in one upgrade for the Lurker. It is one of the most ridiculous upgrades in the game. You can argue it's not the greatest if it wasn't for the fact that they gave Lurkers 10 range now, but it is so darned powerful. It is really, really good. Now, Infestor's up here. He's still got a good link count. 3/3 upgrades. The other Hydra upgrade as well. Still a very big economy. Creep all over the map. And I gotta say, is Clem giving him a lot of respect? Yeah, but I mean, he's only ahead in supply for really the first time in this game. It's actually insane. And his 2/2 upgrades are only now about to finish. And Clem's just here, like, shaking his head like, God damn it, stupid cheesy casters. Stupid Zerg Lurker Drop build, so dumb. No, I'm sure Clem has a smile on his face a little bit, realizing that it's kind of awesome that Catz has put him in such a, turtled up spot where he really hasn't been able to make any plays other than just surviving and defending. And we got Cloak on the way for the Ghosts, vehicle weapons for those tanks as well. He's going to start to inch his way out on this map, but he's so paranoid about getting ambushed. Catz earning a lot of respect. Remember that Catz did beat Mana in a PvP in the EPT EU Weekly a few months back, or maybe it was about a year ago, sorry. Maybe a year and a half ago. And Fester's getting blasted by those tanks. Not the best engage. This was a great bait by Clem. Notice the way Clem went out, but he had layers of insurance covering him from behind in the high ground. This was beautiful play. You can tell that Clem kind of knows at this point Catz is going to wait for him to step out and then try to jump on him. So he moved out and quickly pulled back piece by piece and just blasting those units. That was awesome. Pathogen Glands is now on the way. Wants to maybe rebuild those Infestors, but Clem not giving him many opportunities in this game. And at this point, Catz, I love that he has managed to turn a Lurker Drop into such a good position, but Clem is showing him so much respect. And I think Clem is just probably thinking right at this moment, he's probably going, my instincts say pick up and drop, go out and push. But I think what's really keeping him in the advantage is he actually keeps thinking about the Reddit threads that'll pop up. If it's like, Catz just took a map off CLEM. Okay, Lurkers are going to actually deny this base for a moment, but uh-oh, the Ghosts are getting some good snipes off. The Lings are gone. I think those Lurkers need to get out of there. He wants the Command Center snipe, but he's not going to get it. The Lurkerling Hydra is getting sniped down. And as powerful as Lurkers are, if they ever find themselves unsupported, the Ghost can just snipe them off from the edges and pick them away. Very well played. This Creep Tumor here starting to protrude into CLEM's base. Of course, Catz is a big fan of just a sneaky poke into his opponent's backdoor just to see how they react to it. So far, CLEM not reacting at all. He might be okay with this. Catz is going to move some more Ling Lurker in from the south side, hoping to catch him without too much ready on the D. And this is actually a really good angle. I told you guys Lings are amazing versus tanks. Even though he doesn't really have much to kill the Liberator, only one Hydra in there, he actually kills a bunch of tanks in SCVs. Catz has a giant economy this whole time. The Liberator is causing him some troubles, but the Hydras do kill a few of these buildings as well. A command center falls. A few of these Lurkers do fall. One of them does get out. But that was an awesome trade there. Obviously, overall, not cost efficient. But have you guys seen CLEM versus top pro gamers? A lot of the time, he's 2-1. Or at least, well, maybe not 2-1. I'd say a lot of the time, he's up about 60% in the units lost tab. In this case, it's under 2-1. And I'm counting that as a victory for Catz. If only a moral one at this point. Of course, picking off the third momentarily. It was nice, but there's a fifth base up here. And the fifth base means CLEM's economy is still solid. It's still continuing at a pretty good rate. Another Ling run by coming in. He's just going to go straight after the tanks. The bio's nearby this time, though. So even with those 3-3 Adrenal Gland Zerglings, shouldn't be getting too much damage done. That sensor tower will fall at least. But these Lings, pretty cheap units. Now, of course, the map will start to mine out for Catz. He's got to transfer workers, right? Which he's actually been doing fantastically. As I say, it just transfers these guys out, sending them down to the bottom. And Lurker there will get taken out by the bio on the top side. Looks like a couple Ghosts got caught out. Oh my god! A bunch of Ghosts actually died there. 11 Ghosts have died in this game so far. Mass Lurker going to try and push on their own. I don't know if... Oh, that's a bad call. Oh, I mean, he does kill a tank instantly. Kills some SCVs, but then the Liberator, the Snipes, the Tank Splash, the Planetary... And that is a costly trade for Catz there. If he had a bunch of Lings coming in from behind as well, that definitely could have done it. I mean, the creep spread is just amazing, man. This is actually really sick to see from Catz. Playing a very good late game. He's still adding both types of spellcasters. So the Vipers are going to be for the Abducts, I would imagine. Maybe some Blinding Clouds. Lings are going to try and go up the guts. Catz are always probing for new angles. I always talk about how in late game, players are usually defending the very flanks. And it's actually the surprise attack down the middle that catches them undefended, especially if they're maxed out and they're not building units that are constantly gathering in that natural path. So Catz just kicking some ass, man. Marine's going to push down this south side. Going to snip off a bit more of this creep spread, which is very nice. They could move to the left as well. We've got a fusion core and a second starport on the way. So he's going to go towards range liberators here, is CLEM. And CLEM, I mean, shit, the units lost tab might be in his favor, but like, just that he's down in bank. CLEM is 18 minutes in. He's barely moved past the halfway point of this map since the Hellions in the early game. He's got some Ghosts out here. He's got to be careful they don't get fungled. Queens have been respreading creep as well. CLEM is going to try and retake, or try and take the base on the bottom. Giant attack! YOLO Jenkins, let's go! Blinding Clouds maybe coming in on top of the Ghost. That does, of course, not stop them casting EMP. Blinding Cloud on the Planetary does help as well. Fungals on the Ghosts are very nice. Is it going to allow him to kill, though? Most of these Lurkers burrowed out of range of the Planetary. Oh, Catz with a disastrous mistake there. And his army gets absolutely sniped to smithereens. That is, woo! Blood and guts on the battlefield. And now, just devastating, devastating win for that one. That was huge. Oh my god. Holy shit. Some scary ASCIIs getting posted in the chat. Fat, hardy judges and watchers? Oh my god. Scariest ASCII I've ever seen in my chat. That is a woof. Is there a forum where these guys hang out and gather these ASCIIs? This is weird. Anyways, we've got the Bio Ghost there moving forward. He's got to try and try and control this position. The Hydras... Oh, he's on mass Hydraling. He's swapping off the Lurkers. He's going for a more mobile army. Oh, he's going to need a big fungal. Big fungal! Big fungal! But does he have enough? Can he close the distance? The ghosts are trying to get out of there. If those ghosts get out of there and heal, they'll be okay. They're all in the red. Oh, the Hydras are falling though. It's a field of dead Hydras again. This tank on the high ground on 42 kills. Oh no! Sergeant Chadhammer's back! Catz does snipe Sergeant Chadhammer, but only after Chadhammer gets 43 kills, most of which are Hydralisks in this engagement and the previous one. Ooh, damn. Okay, we've got the Lurker hitting the planetary. These guys can just move forward and hit it. CLEM does spread those units out to avoid splash damage, almost walks into it. Catz somehow is still maxed. How is he still maxed? It's insane. He's just keeping up this Lurker, Bling, Infester, Hydra style. And this push on the south, this might actually just present an attack angle. I think Ghosts need to get down here ASAP. Trickling into the fight a little bit though. Catz not doing this very efficiently. Obviously he's frantic to defend the corner base, but does need to jump on top. His armies, I feel, have been running in columns a bit too much. You can tell he's moving from a bit too far away, and it is starting to cost him. These Liberators and these tanks causing him so much problems. And his macro has been so good, but attacking into these defensive bases, not Cat's forte. And oh my god, these defensive fights for CLEM have been out of this world. It just feels like he's kind of waving him on. He's saying, come on, come get some, come get some. And Catz just dives into his amazing, amazing layers of defense. And CLEM is just going to move up to take the top right corner while denying this bottom left. And this should spell the end of Catz. Catz has run that bank dry. He spent 48,000 resources here. But what an awesome game, and what a surprising performance by CLEM, honestly. I love that he's just like brought out this crazy opening, turned it into a normal game against one of the best Terrans in the world, arguably the best Terran versus Zerg player in the world. And even in the middle and later stages, I feel like a few small changes in how he executes his attacks, and he might have been able to take CLEM out here, right? It's not very, every day you play against a guy who's starting to get so good at turtling like CLEM. I really do feel CLEM's trying to embrace his inner Maru and develop that side of his play. But, Ling Lurker run by, not going to get too much. Once again, he shuffles back out of Lurker range. A scan, a snipe, and goodbye, Mr. Lurker. Beautiful play by CLEM here, man. What a savage. What an absolute savage. Infestors come forward. That's a spite fungal, that is. And he taps out. Catz loses game one. CLEM, a fantastic defensive play against a crazy Lurker drop opening. All right, guys, let's go into game two here. A great hold on game one. Let's see what he can do to deal with Catz in game number two. Root Catz, Liquid CLEM. And I think at the end of that game, I think a good way we could celebrate that is let's read out a lovely copy paster I've just spied in chat. So I think it sums up an analysis of that last game as well. So here we go. It's so difficult to control the late game Terran army. You need a hotkey for ghosts to counter the enemy lurkers. You need a hotkey for ghosts to counter ultras, ghosts to counter broodlords. You need ghosts to counter vipers, ghosts to counter infestors, ghosts to harass the enemy bases with nukes, and ghosts to snipe overseers so the Zerg can't see your ghosts. Terran is truly the hardest race. You might have a point in technically if you get mass ghosts, I guess they do kind of beat everything. They're expensive. You need a lot of them. You shut your mouth, mate. All right, guys, let's go. Anyways, Catz is doing the same opening as last game. He does this every game on ladder when I play him for many months now. But this time, no gas. Was his gas a bit late last time as well? Same response from CLEM, except no bunker this time. Oh, very smart. So CLEM here, very wisely, doesn't build the bunker. He says, don't even need it. I'll send an SCV to confirm. But wait, that does mean that the pool is up before the hatch? No. It was still hatch pool, but he's delayed the gas. He's going to go, oh, gasless 3 hatch. Guys, this is hatchery, spawning pool, hatchery. Holy shit, 4 hatcheries in total, 3 hatcheries, extra hatcheries before gas. One, of course, which is to block the opponent. Doesn't quite get the Evo down. Doesn't really need it. The command center also starts up much quicker in the high ground. So this time, Clem's going to have a much smoother start because he knows what happened last game. Instead of going for the factory early, he went command center, second depot, and then built the factory. So he's playing a more standard play. He comes in now, he sees this very delayed gas. Now this, for me, if I was Clem, I'd be thinking about that 4 Hellion run by. Rather than the 2 Hellions from game 1, I'd be going 4 Hellions. I'd wait for 4. I'd swap that factory over for showsies. Is he going to do it? He's got an orbital on the way right now. Yeah, he's going to swap it over. So he's going to swap that over. Now, obviously, Catz is kind of just hoping he gets left alone for another minute or 2, and he just gets to hold the drone key down, and he's just going to defend with queens. Link speed for him will start at about 345 most likely, which means it'll kick in, what is it, a minute 20 later? It's going to kick in at like 5 minutes, basically. So, yeah, there's definitely a window for Hellions to dive in before Ling speed. We'll see how it goes. They're not fast Hellions, though, so maybe Clem's not even thinking about that. And, guys, 3rd command center into 2nd barracks. He's doing Hellion 2-1-1. Ooh, now, that's a good build, but if he doesn't play aggressively with the Hellions, which normally you wouldn't with this build order, he just builds like 2 or 4 Hellions for map control, then maybe this very late Ling speed and massive drone greed, which we see from Catz, maybe he gets away with it. And guys, I always talk about, one of the ways to simplify StarCraft is if you play aggressive into greed, into aggression, and you plan those steps out ahead of time, so it's like doing a well-rehearsed dance, you can become an infinitely better StarCraft player without being that good mechanically. Go watch Catz stream. I think if you watch Catz stream, you guys will realize he's not a mechanical god. Does he do some things pretty fast? Yeah, but he's nowhere near the speed of a lot of players in this modern year. But he's got plans, he's thought it out, he's got some clever transitions. And what he's done here is a big hatchery to disrupt your opponent, make them worried about you maybe cheesing them off of it or something. And then he does extreme greed behind it in this game. He's already up 17 workers. Yeah, losing that Overlord hurts a little bit, but Catz saw the 3rd command center and he sees the multiple barracks, so he knows there's going to be Stim Marines coming in the near future. He's gone single Evo chamber, so he's going to try and get the carapace, and this is like a great way to play it. And if you go aggression into greed into aggression, or harassment into aggression, it's just such a good way of doing it. It's so nice. Carapace does start up. Now, what play does he play in the mid-game, though? Because this is 2,000 atmospheres, and the real fear I have when I play Clem on this map, which doesn't happen very often, but let's just say if I make it to the 8-minute mark, I'm proud. It's the fact that the Terran almost always is going to split, harass this side, and then also this side with drops, and they can pick up and drop the main, and then you go up to defend there, and they pick up and drop down here, and they pick up and drop here, and they keep working that triangle. They do the same thing here. They pick up and they drop back on the watchtower and they come back in and they just keep harassing the shit out of you. And that's already going to be starting very early in this game because that is a very quick double drop. And that's the power of the 2-1-1 off the back of a 3rd command center that's already going to be getting saturated. Now, the Lings are quick to get on top of that, so well played by Catz. I'd love to have seen him chase the medevacs and stop them unloading, but he's giving this a lot of respect. He's got 18 Zerglings, he's building another 18, he's making a Baneling nest, a 2nd Evo chamber, and so that means for now he's kind of frozen on about 57 workers. He is going to plan to go for a big Ling run by, but the Hellions see it coming. Oh, that's unfortunate that he didn't think about those Hellions maybe being on the tower. The tank is there, not many Marines with it. You could see he even pulled his SCVs to help defend the tank. He was so worried about that. Meanwhile, oh, a medevac gets sniped by the Queens. The overcommitment to Zerglings, a really good choice by Catz. And guys, Catz is playing out of his mind. Do you know what he's done here? He said, look, if I try and play this the way a pro gamer does, where I've got to respond perfectly to everything, it's not going to work. But if I threaten him with a giant Ling run by, that's going to force him to overcommit with his drop while managing defense and offense. And that's where I can get him to make mistakes, and I can just jump on him with the extra Lings. He also just got friendly fire from the tank to kill the mule. That was a fresh mule as well. Fantastic play by Catz, who drops the Spire. Guys, not only did he shut down the first drop, he's also realizing that that drop maneuverability is a problem. This is a pretty good map for muta control. The fear for me is that it's so hard to play mutas against a guy as good with biomine as Clem. On the other hand, Clem's building tanks. Clem's expecting Hydra Lurker play again. He's in that mindset. It's a long time until this factory will get up a reactor and start Widowmine production. Catz is at 74 workers versus 62. His creep spread is fantastic. He's threatening Ling run bys, even running just pairs of Zerglings in to drag siege tank friendly fire into SCVs. He's got a 5th base finished, a macro hatch on the way, double upgrades, Bane speed all about to kick in. He's going up to 7 gases right now. Holy crap, guys. I am beyond impressed by how Catz is playing this. I don't think he's going to turn this necessarily into a, oh, look, he'll definitely win from here. But he's doing so many things right. And he could get out a big pack of mutas in the near future as well. He's already up on 80 drones. Some Raynor level greed here. Oh, that's painful though. Ooh. Loses quite a few overlords there. 3 overlords go down. And this is that work in the angle. Clem's going to be that nuisance that we talked about, but Catz responding really quickly. And he's got 7 mutas, which means he can hunt this down. If this hangs out in the dead space for too long, he can hunt this down. Unfortunately for Catz, he pulled his queens back. If he kept his queens up here, he could have kept that stuck in the dead space, and then it would have been an easy pick-off. Behind this, 4th command center's on the way. Reactors going down. 2-2 upgrades have not started just yet for Clem. There we go, +2 attack starting. Doesn't quite have the gas for +2, and Carapace is almost done for +2. Catz does need to, of course, remember the other upgrade. His mutas and lings are here. Notice he wants the lings to engage, allowing the mutas, and the marines are going to try and focus down these mutalisks. But look at this. Oh, Clem, so decisive. He sees the whole army tunnel visioning on the left side. He says, I know these units are trapped, but let them distract thee, for I shall dive. And look at how greedy Catz has been. He's on 90 drones. He has enough army to defend, but they're in the wrong position. And guys, he's gone to 95 workers. He's trying to play that giant economy. Clem focuses the Banelings down. Oh, you're not meant to be able to defend that unless you're Clem. God damn it. Clem, look at this. There's not enough Banes. He will lose the Marines eventually, but oh no! Clem! This feels so much like when I'm outclassed by a Terran as well. I feel like he's so well set up, dude. But the 97 workers that the Catz built are not that useful on only 4 bases. He needs a 5th base mining. Those 20 workers aren't worth jack. And this opens up an opportunity for Clem not only to damage the economy that's meant to be booming and exploding, but it also killed a bunch of army with those focus fires and those snipes and that micro. And now Clem shoves down the left side with another tank one, and now he denies that base. Well, guess what? 95 workers on 3 bases is absolutely shit. He's got like 30, 40 workers that can't do anything. And of course, the god tier player Clem here, he lures Catz around a little bit. Catz got a bit too tunnel visioned on that left-hand side drop, and it looks like it opens up enough of a window for Clem to basically dismantle the army advantage that should have been there, and the mutas on their own will not be able to clear this push-up. He needs a lot of lings and banes. He's trying to go hive and pathogen glands as well. Chad Gamer Catz trying to do everything at once here, but I think Clem's got him, guys. Bloody well played by Clem. I gotta say though, Catz, you have my eternal love and respect for just the creative, amazing way that he plays. And he's clearly grinding at the moment. People in chat have called out, apparently, at the moment, he's on form. He's in form. He's on a grind where his current goal is to get top 25 on the NA ladder. Every now and then he gets really motivated, likes to set himself a big goal like that and see if he can do it. And he usually hits these goals. Catz is really capable of it when he sets his mind to it. Unfortunately for him, he has got one of the best Terrans in the world standing in front of him. Clement Desplanches takes it out, holds on against the Lurker Drop into the cheeky, greedy play, and does get the win there on 2K atmospheres. But man, Catz put himself in some good positions. If that was anyone lesser than Clem, I think they would have struggled. GG, well played.